New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Oh boy, we're about to make some people mad here. What's up guys, RGT85 here, and today on the channel we're going to be ranking Nintendo Switch games. That's right folks, this is the definitive list, at least in my opinion, of ranking Nintendo Switch games. Now I know some other people made videos like this a month or two ago, people like Beat 'em Ups, 8-Bit Eric, but I kind of wanted to wait and do my own video on this, and now I am ready to do a video on this. Now this is through a website called tiermaker.com. They have a whole bunch of different stuff. If you guys like this video and you like this style of video, let me know in the comments down below, because there's a lot of retro systems on here as well, and maybe I'll visit these retro systems and rank those games and even the systems themselves, because I think that would be really fun. So let me know if you enjoy it, but I'm not quite sure how their videos work, but how my videos are going to work is we have different rankings here. We have S through F ranking, and I basically just want to say very briefly what these rankings mean, so you sort of have an idea going into it. An S-ranked Nintendo Switch game is an absolute must-own. If you own a Nintendo Switch, you must own this game. An A-ranked game is definitely a very highly recommended game. Now, if you're kind of strapped on cash, I can understand you not having this game, but whenever you get some money, one of these games needs to be the game that you pick up. A B-ranked game is a game that if you're a fan of the genre and a fan of the style, you'll definitely enjoy this game, and it's a solid addition to the Nintendo Switch library, but there might be one or two things sort of holding it back. A C-ranked game is a middle-of-the-road game. It's a game that, once again, if you're a fan of the genre, you're gonna have fun with, but for me personally, there were some things holding it back, and it's not going to make you a fan of the genre if you do not like the genre to begin with. A D-ranked game is definitely a game that has problems, whether it be price point, technical issues, or it's just not a fun game. And an F-ranked game, well, that's just something you should completely stay away from. Now, looking over this list of games, I noticed 1-2 Switch is not on here. 1-2 Switch would have definitely been an F-ranked game, but all these other games will probably be D-rank or higher. So let's just hop into this list and let me start listing these games and ranking these games. So first off, we have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I mean, that's an S rank. If you own a Nintendo Switch, you need to own this game. It is a complete evolution of the Legend of Zelda series. It goes in a completely different direction, and it's just a fantastic game. It's really an open world style game. You'll always find secrets in it. There's a ton of DLC for it as well. Just an excellent game, and really sort of setting the standard for new Zelda games in the future. Just absolutely fantastic. Next up, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You know, once again, that's an S-rank game to me. It is a game that you must own on your Nintendo Switch. I played the game to death on the Wii U, but the improved battle mode of this game definitely made it worth picking up once again. You have all the DLC from the Wii U version of the game. It looks great in handheld mode. It looks great in docked mode. Probably the best kart racer of all time as well. So definitely a game that needs to be in your collection if you own a Nintendo Switch. Travis Strikes Again. You know what, Travis? You're getting a D, buddy. I was very disappointed with this game. I just thought it wasn't a very well done game. Obviously, my save file got completely messed up. My game completely glitched out on me and I couldn't progress any further. I'd played for about 3.5 to 4 hours, but honestly, I didn't want to play anymore. It was not a fun game to me. It was very repetitive, and it sort of just, you know, hindered what No More Heroes 3, you know, that sort of image that the game was going to have. The platforming in this game was just absolutely atrocious. Definitely a very disappointing game, and a game that I just can't recommend. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I haven't really spent enough time with this game, I feel. I've played a good little bit of it, but I want to play it more. I'm going to go ahead and give it a B, though. I think it's a really good strategy RPG game in the style of XCOM. The sort of blending of the Rabbids characters and giving Mario characters a bit more personality than we've ever seen in other Mario games was definitely very interesting. The graphics were very well done. The gameplay was very fun, and I think it's a solid addition to the Nintendo Switch library. You know, I would definitely like to see a sequel of this game. I think a lot of people would like to see a sequel of this game eventually as well. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I will also give that a B. I played this game for about 20 hours, but it never really hooked me, I felt. You know, a game like Xenoblade Chronicles X, I absolutely love that game. I was playing that game, you know, over and over again. It was just so much fun to me. It really hooked me in, and I was doing like long marathon sessions of that game. But Xenoblade Chronicles 2 definitely was a bit different, and I don't know, it just didn't really hook me. I know a lot of people absolutely love that game. I could definitely respect the game. I do think it looks pretty weak in handheld mode though, which was definitely a bit of a disappointment. A ton of content there. If it hooks you, I think you'll definitely be hooked in, but for me personally, I just couldn't really get hooked on it. ARMS, I'm gonna go with a C for ARMS here. You know, ARMS was just not really, it didn't really have an identity. Like, I get it, it was a fighting game, but it was just kind of weird. I feel like it needed some additional Nintendo flair, like maybe some Nintendo characters from other games. Like, you have Punch-Out characters, why not put a Punch-Out character in ARMS to sort of give it an identity, to sort of give it a bit of flair? It seems like a game that sort of died out in the online community as well. You know, they tried to make a somewhat competitive fighting game, but I just don't think it really clicked like a lot of people would have thought it was was going to click. Not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely a game that I wouldn't pay full price for, and just a game that was sort of missing something, I feel. Super Mario Party, I'll also give it a C. You know, it's probably a bit closer to a D, but I liked what they did. I felt like it was a positive move for the Super Mario Party franchise, or the Mario Party franchise in general, especially after the Wii U version of the game, but the online just really sort of messed this game up for me. The fact that you couldn't play with friends online for like board missions and do it like an actual board with them was just definitely very disappointing to me. I get that with randoms they would probably disconnect pretty quickly if they were losing or something like that, but if it's your friends, you should be able to play online, you know, the full Mario Party experience, because a lot of people don't have local friends that's easy to play with. I think that the core mechanics of the game were solid, but this is the lack of an online system that was really solid definitely hindered this game for me a bit. Fire Emblem Warriors, I actually own it, but I don't even think I've played it yet, so I have to skip that game. A couple of these games haven't come out. Fitness Boxing, never played that. Hyrule Warriors, I played it on the Wii U. I really liked it on the Wii U, but I did not pick up the Nintendo Switch version of the game. Fire Emblem Three Houses, I'm gonna give that a B, and that might seem a little bit low. Granted, I am only about 10 hours into the game, but I feel like some of the micromanaging of the school stuff is a bit much for me. I'm not really sort of, you know, feeling that vibe. I like Fire Emblem for the combat system, the strategy, turn-based RPG system that all of us have grown accustomed to. I think the combat in the game is absolutely phenomenal, and doing the different combat arts and stuff like that, and all the different characters that you can have because of the school is very cool. But some of the micromanaging of the school stuff for me is just a bit overwhelming. I feel it's a bit too much at times for me, but I am still learning the game. Like I said, I'm only about 10 hours into it, but I did feel like adding it to the list. It's definitely a game that has potential to be something like an A, but for right now, I'm going to stick it in the B category. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I mean, that's an S for me. I'm not even the biggest Smash Bros. Fan in the world, but I think just the blending of all these different characters from all these different franchises into a party-style fighting game is just absolutely fantastic for me. Yes, the online can be a little bit buggy because it is peer-to-peer, but I've had, you know, pretty decent success playing the game online. I'm absolutely terrible at Smash Bros., but I think it's still very fun. Of course, you have the Spirit board as well, which is fun to go through. Just a really great game, a really fantastic game. If you're a fan of retro franchises, to see some of your favorite characters come back in this game is just absolutely fantastic. Of course, you're still getting additional DLC characters as well, so definitely an S rank game for me. Splatoon 2, I'm going to go ahead and throw Splatoon 2 in the A ranking. I thought Splatoon 2 was a great evolution of the Splatoon franchise that Nintendo is obviously trying to build upon. Splatoon 1, when it came out, was definitely lacking in sort of game modes and of course maps and things like that, but they've improved that game so much with all the free content, and then Splatoon 2 just really took that base game that had all the DLC, and then just improved upon it even more with even more maps, more weapons, and more things to do in the game. I really feel like they're hitting their stride with the Splatoon series, and I'm definitely interested to see where Splatoon 3 goes. Obviously, Splatoon 2, all the community events are sort of winding down and things like that, but I thought Splatoon 2 was exactly what a sequel should be, especially for a new IP. It improved upon everything. The graphics were better as well. I thought the maps were better as well. So definitely a fantastic game, and a game that I think anyone can pick up and play and have a lot of fun with. Super Mario Odyssey, that's an S rank. I mean, Super Mario Odyssey might be my favorite game on the Nintendo Switch. I think it's just an absolutely fantastic game. It is one of the best 3D platformers I have ever played, if not the best 3D platformer. I love the worlds that you go into. New Donk City is my favorite level in a Mario game ever, but where the hell is my DLC for this game? Like, every other major Nintendo game is getting DLC except for Super Mario Odyssey. Give me more levels, give me more worlds to explore, Nintendo. You're really dropping the ball with that. Like, I would gladly pay for more levels for this game. Just absolutely fantastic. So many things to do, so many things to collect in the game. Just fantastic. An absolute must own. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Oh boy, we're about to make some people mad here. You know what? You're getting a D, buddy. And I know you're all getting angry here, but the D really stands for disappointment with this game for me. First off, it was $60. There's no rhyme or reason for this game being $60. It is not a $60 game in my opinion. It is a solid 2D Mario game, but it doesn't really have any sort of identity. There's nothing that sticks out in the game that you're like, oh yeah, you remember in New Super Mario Bros. U when you did this, or you had this power up, or this happened? There's like nothing really different about this game. It really just feels like one of the DS or 3DS titles that came out that was just upscaled for the Nintendo Wii U and then ported over to the Nintendo Switch. Especially with games like Mario Maker 2 out there now, this game is just obsolete for me. It was definitely a disappointment at $60. If it was a budget, $40 title, maybe I could have stomached it a bit more, but at $60, no. Like, this game just didn't really have any sort of identity for me to really make this game stand out. Now, if you feel different, like, that's fine. It's all love here on the channel. It's just opinions. But for me, yeah, no, that's a D. Kirby Star Allies, you're getting a C, Kirby. Not a bad game, but just way too easy. Like, you could beat the game pretty much in 1 or 2 sittings, and there really wasn't that much reason to sort of go back and replay the levels. I thought the game looked good. I thought the power-ups were fun. I thought the levels were somewhat creative, but there just wasn't an incentive to go back and play the game, and just the low difficulty of the game really just sort of put me off towards it. I think it could have easily been a B title, but if they would have improved upon the difficulty, made it a bit more challenging, but I feel like anyone that plays a video game could probably beat this game. Super Mario Maker 2, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the A ranking. Just an absolutely fantastic game, a great evolution of the Mario Maker franchise, with just one minor problem, the online stuff. Obviously, some of the online multiplayer stuff is just so laggy, it's ridiculous. I think if they improved upon that, it could easily be an S rank game, but just having an unlimited amount of Mario levels to play from different styles and the creativeness of the online community really makes this game stand out, in my opinion. Definitely an awesome game, a game that you can get hundreds and hundreds of hours of value with very, very easily, and just a fantastic, once again, they took upon a new sort of IP and improved upon everything in every way except for the online stuff. Even though they added in more online stuff, they really should have knocked down that online code a bit better. But I think if they improved that online code, it could easily be an S rank game. But as for now, just being able to download an infinite amount of Mario levels is good enough for me. Pokmon Tournament DX, I'll give it a C. Like, I don't think it's a bad game or anything like that, but it's a fighting game involving Pokemon, and if you don't care about Pokemon, you probably won't care about the fighting in this game, because it heavily relies on the source material, the Pokemon themselves, and the abilities they have. I actually reviewed this game for Nintendo Enthusiasts. It might have been like one of my last reviews. I remember getting a review copy of the game, but I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan in the world, so it didn't really do anything to sort of shift me back into the Pokemon universe. Not a bad fighting game, but definitely something that's more of a game that you would probably want to pick up at a reduced price if you're not a big Pokemon fan. Octopath Traveler, I really haven't played it enough, man. I really wish I would have played this game more. I do own it. I played and beat the demo, but I never got around to playing this game. I definitely want to revisit it. Mario Tennis Ace is another game that I haven't really played all that much. Never played Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, no Snipper Clips. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, once again, I will put him in the C category. Not a bad game, it sort of brought me back into the Pokemon universe, but it was definitely a bit on the easy side. Obviously, there were some Pokemon Go editions that a lot of people didn't like, and mainline Pokemon games, it's definitely not as good as a mainline Pokemon game in my opinion, but I thought they did some interesting things with it. I thought the graphics, although a bit simplistic, were clean enough. I like that you could see the Pokemon on the overworld map as well. Not a bad game, but I think with a little bit more refinement and maybe a little bit more focus on a hardcore like Pokemon experience, it could have been a bit better, but I could see this game easily being a B for a lot of people as well. Yoshi's Crafted World, we'll go ahead and throw him in the B category. A pretty solid game. It was a bit on the easy side, but I liked the level variety. There was reasons to go back and replay levels with additional challenges as well. It was a pretty decent game, definitely a very good art style. I love the unique art style of this game. The music was a bit repetitive, but I think it was a better 2D platformer than something like Kirby Star Allies, so I will give that a B. Moving right along, we have some games that haven't even come out yet. Tetris 99. You know what? Tetris 99, I'm going to give that an A. Like, it's a free game for Nintendo Switch Online owners, and it's Tetris Battle Royale, and it's done right. Like, it's super fun. They've been adding in additional stuff as well. You can actually pick up a physical version of the game too, and just a really fun game. Nintendo Switch Online needs more things like this, so definitely a very solid game in my opinion. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I kind of want to give it a C, but I'm going to give it a B. And let me tell you why. Because it's one of the best 2D platformers of recent memory. It's challenging, it's beautiful, it's a super fun game. It could have been higher, but it could have been lower because of the price point. It was $60. It was only $50 on the Nintendo Wii U, and all they added in was Funky Kong, which was an easier mode for the game. But that doesn't change the fact that it's still one of the best 2D platformers of recent memory as far as a new 2D platformer. So if you didn't play it on the Wii U, it's definitely a game you should check out on the Nintendo Switch, especially if you can pick it up at a discounted price, but if you did play it on the Wii U, there's obviously no reason to revisit this game unless you just really enjoyed it and you want to be able to take the game wherever you go. Fantastic game, but you know, that price point definitely sort of hinders it for me. And obviously all these other games haven't come out, so Marvel Ultimate Alliance, this one may shock you, but I'm giving it an A. You know what? Marvel Ultimate Alliance absolutely hooked me in. I sat there on my couch and played this game for 10 hours straight to get through the story mode, and I'm still playing the game because there's infinity missions where you can do different things, unlock different characters, unlock more power-ups for your characters, and it's super fun. I'm not even a huge Marvel fanboy. I don't watch any of the new Marvel movies. I like the older stuff, the 90s stuff like the X-Men cartoon series and things like that, but I was absolutely hooked into this game. I didn't know who a lot of these characters were that I was meeting up with, but it's just a really fantastic game. The graphics are definitely a bit hit or miss. Some people seem to like them. For me personally, I thought they could have been a little bit better. There's one section of the game that definitely drags on, but as far as a Nintendo Switch exclusive game, it's definitely very unique, and if you have friends to play with, either locally or online, it definitely improves upon the experience, I feel, because you can just drop in, drop out. It's very easy to link up with people. Just a really well done game. I had never experienced any sort of lag online either, so definitely an A-rank game for me. If you like these sort of, you know, action adventure games that have hack and slash elements, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is just fantastic in my opinion. Alright, so we have successfully ranked a lot of Nintendo Switch games here, so I definitely want to hear in the comments section down below what you think of my rankings. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Do you think that New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe should have been an S-rank game? Because there's going to be someone in the comments that absolutely loves that game and they're going to yell at me and probably dislike that video, but don't be that guy. Be that guy that likes the video because, I don't know, it's just nice. Be a nice person. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video and me just sort of talking about these games, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below. There's a ton of retro systems and retro games on here that we can look at as well that I think would be a lot of fun. So it's just dependent on you. If you guys enjoyed it, I will definitely do more of these. And as always, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.